Hi, Charlie. It's supposed to be a little less cold today, and by that I mean we've graduated from the single digits to just under freezing temperature weather. So I hope that you have a more pleasant day. You get to curl up by the radiator and get a little more warmth than you have in the past week. So, anyway, I just wanted to update you on the fifth day. I can't believe it's been 5 days, to be completely honest, of my video poll experiment where I discussed the LinkedIn poll that I posted last week that closed this morning. And today's topic is one that I'm sure is near and dear to many finance bros across the world, and that is, which stock sector do you think will be most profitable in 2025? As you know, a lot of people invest by choosing particular sectors to focus on for the year because they think those sectors will outperform other sectors and the S&P 500. For instance, utilities are not considered the highest growing sector, while something like technology is considered a very fast growing sector. You're talking the Nvidias, the Apples, the Amazons, etc. So anyway, there were four choices for the stock sector poll: healthcare, financials, real estate, and communications. And I was really curious to see how this distribution would turn out because all the statistics I mentioned with that poll had to do with the financial industry, specifically the six largest US banks, who got a spotlight in a lot of my newsletters as having done pretty well compared to their projections from a couple of months ago. So anyway, 104 people voted on this poll. That's significantly more than my average. 33% of them voted for healthcare, 36% voted for financials, 15% chose real estate, and 16% chose communications. So I thought the financials would be significantly overrepresented in that poll, and while they were the most popular choice, it means they're a plurality, healthcare, real estate, and communications still had some pretty staunch supporters, which kind of surprised me. Now onto the statistics part of this video. As I said, the statistics that I included for this poll all had to do with the financial industry, so you could say that the poll results might have been a bit skewed if people were paying a lot of attention to those statistics. So anyway, the six largest US banks reported $31 billion in Q4 2024 profits, which I would certainly love to have even a fraction of that revenue or the profit, but it's a good indicator that maybe you should be investing in financials as well if you think the sector is going to replicate the excellent performance this year, even if it's on a slightly lesser scale. Also, the KWB, that's an index that measures the performance of bank stocks, climbed 31.6% in 2024, while the S&P 500 only increased by 23.1% in 2024. So obviously financials were an overperforming sector last year. Who knows if they'll replicate that performance this year, but it looks like a lot of people are betting on that and sinking more money into these financial stocks, which should in the short term drive up those stock prices. Also, the average bonus at Goldman Sachs is 15%. So if you're trying to advance in your career, maybe make a little money, consider joining that company, even though I'm sure it's a very competitive application process. And on average, the six largest bank stocks returned 38% in 2024. So if you invested in those stocks in early 2024, before there was all this hype surrounding their performance last quarter, you would have made a tidy profit that exceeds sort of the benchmark set by the S&P 500. So anyway, as I said before, these gains happened last year, so you can't really get a time machine and go back in time and take advantage of those gains. But a lot of people are predicting that this above average performance will continue into 2025. I assume they think the economy is going to do well as well, because this bank performance correlates pretty closely with the performance of the overall economy and the S&P 500. But as we all know, anything can happen, such as COVID-19 in 2022, kind of the economic downturn in 2022, when all of the inflation rates skyrocketed to nearly 10%. All that to say that a sector that performs well in one year, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do well the next year. So it's best to, diversify your investments as much as possible and try not to rely too much on like stock picking or sector chasing, because unless you're like a professional analyst at Goldman Sachs with, 10 degrees and 20 years of experience, you're probably not going to be great at predicting the performance of the markets, much less a sector or even an individual stock. So just, try to keep your investing as simple and efficient and proven as possible, and don't get too bogged down in all these details that you really don't understand, and that, even if you do understand the details, things are always changing in a company. There's new leadership, they're pursuing new opportunities, trying new projects, implementing new techniques. You can't keep track of all those things and predict how the performance of those new activities is going to affect their stock performance. So just keep the investing as simple as possible. Obviously do your research, but don't try to overcomplicate things that you are just not an expert in. Okay, Charlie, I know you don't even know what money is and that all your needs are taken care of, but for all the humans in the audience who do consider that a priority, I hope that helps you make smarter investing decisions. All that to say, this is not investing or financial advice. You should always do your own research and consult with financial professionals for whatever your financial needs are. Just wanted to put that out there. Okay, Charlie, thank you for listening, and stay tuned for day 6 of my polling video experiment tomorrow. Bye.